are of two types: macronutrients and micronutrients. Macro means large, micro means small. So as this name suggests, macronutrients are these form the main bulk of food: protein, fat, and carbohydrate. Micro means which are required in very small amounts like vitamins and minerals. So now come to proteins. These uh, proteins contain amino acids, or the building blocks of proteins are amino acids. There are some essential amino acids that are which are required for body or essentially, but not prepared or not synthesized in body. Those amino acids are called essential amino acids. So the proteins, the sources of proteins may be vegetable source and may from the animal source. And from vegetable source, proteins are available from pulses, cereals, beans, and nuts. Animal sources includes milk, meat, egg, cheese, fish, like this. These are animal sources. So these animal sources contains all the essential amino acids, but all the essential amino acids are not in vegetable sources. Only animal source foods or proteins, they contain all essential amino acids in adequate amount. And among these animal sources, egg protein is considered as best among food proteins, and its biological value is very high. So a protein is called biologically complete if it contains all the essential amino acids corresponding to the human needs. And when one or more of the amino acids or essential amino acids are lacking, the protein is said to be biologically incomplete. And the functions of proteins are they helps in bodybuilding, repairing of bodily functions, and maintenance of body tissues, synthesis of certain substances like antibodies, plasma proteins, hemoglobins, some types of enzymes, hormones, and coagulation factors. So all these required the proteins for its synthesis. And the daily requirement of the body is 1 gram per kg body weight. Then come to fats. Fats are these are solid at 20 degrees centigrade. If at 20 degrees centigrade it is in liquid form, these fats are called oils. So there are two types of the fats contain fatty acids like amino acids. Like amino acids are building blocks of proteins, so fatty acids are building blocks of fats. There are two types of fatty acids, them saturated and unsaturated. Saturated fatty acids mainly found in animal fats. So these are harmful fatty acids which are found in animal fats. Unsaturated are good fatty acids, and these are also of two types: unsaturated and polyunsaturated. And unsaturated fatty acids are mainly found in vegetable oils. So the main source of fats are the animal fat. These are the major source, and vegetable source is some groundnuts, mustard, sesame, and coconut. These are the source of fats, vegetable source of fats. Other sources, some cereals pulses also contains some in small amount of fat, and the fats are responsible or these are required for supplying energy, serves as a vehicle for fat soluble vitamins, supports the viscera such as heart, kidney, and intestine, and it provides insulation against cold. Subcutaneous fat, which protects the body from cold climate. And trans fatty acids. Some have seen in packaged food in wrapper of the packaged foods are written as trans fatty acids, zero trans fatty acids. The trans fatty acids are mainly found in deep fried fat foods, cakes, cereals, energy bars, chips, crackers. All these packaged foods also contains trans fatty acids, and these trans fatty acids are these are the isomers of unsaturated fatty acids, which adopts These are isomers, but it adopts like a saturated fatty acids configuration. So it actually it renders the plasma lipid profile, which are atherogenic, like triglycerides, LDL, low density lipoproteins. HDL means high density lipoproteins. So the low density lipoproteins, the trans fatty acids increases the low density cholesterol, and it decreases the HDL. HDL is good cholesterol which are good for heart. LDL are bad cholesterol which are bad for heart. Once the trans fatty acids are in our body, they take years to be lost from the body. So be cautious while taking all these foods which contains trans fatty acids. And now comes to refined oils, which are all are using refined oils in day-to-day life in kitchens, in cookings. So these are actually the refined oils are obtained by treatment with steam and alkali, etc. of raw oils. If raw oils are treated with steam, alkali, and some chemical processes, through some chemical processes, prepared. And this refined process is done mainly to remove the free fatty acids and some rancid materials from them. And it doesn't bring about any change in unsaturated fatty acids content of the oil. The refined process, it doesn't bring any change in the unsaturated fatty acids content of the oil. Only it is for only taste purpose. So the daily requirement of dietary fat 5 gram per day, and it depends on age, body weight, and energy needed. So according to this, the daily requirement of the body dietary fat varies. Now carbohydrate. Carbohydrate are the major component of food. These are the main source of energy for the body, and there are three main sources: starch, sugar, and cellulose. Starch. These are the basic human diet found in cereals like rice, wheat. These are called roots and tubers. This contains starch as a source of carbohydrate. And glucose, fructose, galactose, sucrose, lactose, and these are highly water soluble and easily assimilated, easily digestible. These are sugars, which is the main source of carbohydrate. And cellulose, which is otherwise called as dietary fibers, these are indigestible component of the carbohydrate. So fiber have no metabolic effect. If too much of fiber is consumed, then it decreases the absorption of valuable micronutrients in the body. So when we must know that when fasting, the glycogen is exhausted. Glycogen means which is reserved carbohydrate is exhausted and it is starting depleting in case of fasting. And if the dietary carbohydrate do not meet the energy needs of the body during fasting, then protein and glycerol from the dietary and endogenous sources which are stored in body are used by the body to maintain glucose homeostasis. So dietary fibers is also very important, which are important. It is the important component of diet, found in also in vegetables, fruits, and grains. And it may be insoluble and soluble, but mainly these are indigestible. So the functions of these dietary fibers are absorbs water and increases the bulk of food, reducing tendency to constipation. So when a constipated patient is coming, we are advising them to take more fiber dietary fibers or fiber diets to decrease the constipation tendency. And it is also associated with reduced incidence of coronary heart disease. And daily intake of 40 gram of dietary fiber is desirable, not more than that. So high fiber diet are wheat, jowar, bajra, ragi, maize, fenugreek. These are the high fiber diets. Medium fiber diets are rice, most vegetables, fruits, coconut, and almonds. These are the medium fiber. This food item contains medium amount of fibers. And low fiber foods are refined and processed foods. This refined and processed food are low fiber foods. And there is no fiber in sugars, fats, milk and all type of meats. So these are about the macronutrients, which are protein, fat and carbohydrate. Now micronutrients. Micronutrients which are needed in small quantity were very essential for the body. So vitamins are organic compounds categorized as essential nutrients. They are required by the body in very small amount and they do not yield energy but enable the body to use other nutrients. So these vitamins are categorized into types: fat-soluble vitamins and water-soluble vitamins. So fat-soluble vitamins are vitamin A, D, E, and K. So vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin E and K. These are fat-soluble vitamins, and vitamin C and B complex. B complex means it is a combination of so many vitamins: B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B12 and folic acid. Folic acid also is a vitamin B complex category. So these are vitamin B complex and vitamin C are water soluble vitamins. So vitamin A, process of vitamin A with fat soluble vitamin. It comes from the animal foods like liver, egg, butter, cheese, milk, fish and meat. And plant foods which contains vitamin A like green leafy vegetables, carrots, green yellow fruits like mango, papaya, etc. And this vitamin A is required for normal vision, which supports the growth, especially skeletal growth, and it is acts as also anti-infective. And deficiency of vitamin A causes night blindness. Yes, it is required for normal vision. So deficiency of vitamin A is responsible for night blindness. And there is so many other eye problems like corneal xerosis. Xerosis means dryness, and conjunctival xerosis. So dry eyes may be there in vitamin A deficiency. Daily requirement of vitamin A is 600 micrograms. And vitamin D. Vitamin D is it is unique because it is derived both from sunlight and food. No other vitamins are synthesized from sunlight. Only vitamin D is synthesized from sunlight in skin. And it has no plant source but only from animal food. Food means only animal food contains vitamin D. No plant source or no plant food contains vitamin D. So it is synthesized by the body by the action of ultraviolet rays of sunlight on cholesterol. So it is stored largely in skin. So in skin, this cholesterol is stored under the skin when we are exposed to the sunlight, the ultraviolet rays. This cholesterol is being synthesized, or it acted upon by so much of enzymes and other coenzymes, and the vitamin D is prepared in skin. And foods, animal foods like liver, egg yolk, butter, and cheese, and some fishes contains useful amount of vitamin D. So, what is the function of this vitamin D? The vitamin D it promotes intestinal absorption of calcium and phosphorus, which is essential for bony growth or skeletal growth. It also stimulates normal mineralization, which is calcium metabolism and other mineral metabolism. Enhances bone resorption, and it increases tubular reabsorption of phosphate and calcium in kidney or in tubular linings of the kidney. And deficiency of vitamin D it causes rickets in young children and osteomalacia in adults. These are same manifestations of the vitamin D, but in young it is called as rickets, and if it occurs in adults it is called as osteomalacia. So what are the signs and symptoms of the rickets or osteomalacia? Is compressed rock. There is reduced calcification of growing bones, muscular hypotonia, tonicity, decreased tonicity of the muscles. There will be convulsions, hypocalcemia in this calcium is reduced, and there is constant alkaline phosphatase is greatly elevated in this condition, vitamin D deficiency. And also, if it was seen in adults, it is called osteomalacia, which is commonly seen in mainly in women, especially during pregnancy and lactation, when requirement of vitamin D is increased. So daily requirement for an adult is 2.5 microgram. For infants and children, it's 5.5 microgram. But during pregnancy and lactation, it is directly increased. That is 10 microgram. Then vitamin E. The sources of vitamin E are breast milk, infant formula, infant milk formulas, vegetable oils, liver, egg yolk, butter, green leafy vegetables, whole grain, breads, cereals, and other fortified or enriched grain products, and wheat germ. These are also called tocopherols, and these are the sources of vitamin E. And function of vitamin E, it acts as a very good antioxidant and plays a role in neurological functions, protects lipid and prevents oxidation of only unsaturated fatty acids. It also prevents oxidation of only unsaturated fatty acids, which are good fatty acids for the body or which are helpful for the body. It protects the oxidation of those fatty acids from its decomposition. And deficiency of vitamin E, it produces hemolytic anemia in premature and newborn. It is a one type of anemia which is produced from the destruction of the blood cells. And which is this is hemolytic anemia, and in mainly in case of premature and newborn, and there is hyperreflexia. Reflection of the nervous system will be very low, or maybe it may be to some extent it may be absent, and some retinal retina which is present in eye, it may be also degenerated in case of vitamin E deficiency. So daily requirement of vitamin E is 0.8 milligram per gram of essential fatty acids. For each gram of essential fatty acids, vitamin E should be 0.8 milligram. Then vitamin K, it is also one of the fat soluble vitamin. So it found mainly in fresh green vegetables and in some fruits. Cow's milk is rich in vitamin K, and it is synthesized by the intestinal bacteria. But it stimulates the production and release of certain coagulation factors. Coagulation factors means those factors which are present in blood and helpful in the coagulation of clotting of blood. So if in case of if vitamin K is deficient, then the blood clotting time is prolonged due to the decrease in prothrombin content of blood, which is a coagulation factor for clotting of blood. So daily requirement of vitamin K is 0.03 milligram per kg body weight. Now come to water soluble vitamins, that is vitamin B complex and vitamin C. So among the vitamin B complexes, there are many categories. That is vitamin B1, which is otherwise called as thiamine. It is found in whole grain cereals, wheat, gram, pulses, nuts, especially ground nuts. And milk is an important source of thiamine for infants, essential for utilization of carbohydrate. So vitamin B1 is essential for utilization of carbohydrate in the body. And deficiency of vitamin B1, it creates or produces beriberi and vernix encephalopathy. Daily requirement of vitamin B1 is 0.5 milligram per 1000 kilocalorie of energy intake. If we calculate 1000 kilocalorie of energy intake, in case of there is requirement of 0.5 milligram of vitamin B1. So vitamin B2, it is riboflavin, and the richest natural source of vitamin B2 is milk, egg, liver, kidney, and other green leafy vegetables. Germination increases the riboflavin content of some foods. And the fundamental role of vitamin B2 is cellular oxidation, and it plays an important role in maintaining integrity of the oxidation process. It is the deficiency of vitamin B2 causes angular stomatitis, neuromotor functions, which is a defects in neurological system, and wound healing delayed, increase susceptibility to cataract. And the daily requirement is 0.6 milligram per 1000 kilocalorie of energy intake. Then vitamin B3, which is niacin, it is also found in liver, kidney, meat, some in nuts,